Hi, thanks for being in a new video. Let me tell you what I liked most and least about the Galaxy A15 after testing it, in case you're considering buying it. So, as always, let me tell you, don't buy the Galaxy A15 5G without watching this video. Remember that there is also the Galaxy A15 without the surname 5G, so you do not confuse it. The launch price in Mexico is 4,599 pesos. On the screen you see the reference price in dollars, just to give you an idea. But remember that the prices here are not the same as there. Generally in Mexico, prices are much more expensive. Let me tell you first what I like the most. Being a Galaxy, it has a very wide distribution. That is, you can find it in multiple stores. It can be online stores or physical stores. So it can be relatively easy to get it. It has a 90 Hz AMOLED screen. At this price point, it's not such a common thing to see AMOLED screens. Generally, we are offered IPS screens that have less intense colors and lower contrasts. Although you could perhaps find screens with higher refresh rates, but I think this device strikes a good balance between excellent image quality and a refresh rate that allows smooth movements. It supports a 9-band equalizer without the need to connect headphones. This is another one of those features that is not present in many other devices, so you can customize your sound experience to a much more specific level. Considering its price, it takes good selfies. Even at night we will have good quality. Although I emphasize the phrase considering its price, because obviously you won't be an expert at selfies, but in this price range, generally selfies are of a slightly simpler quality. Here I found a very nice quality. In addition, an ultra-wide camera is built in, which again will not be the great camera marvel, but consider that in this price range, other manufacturers do not offer a camera with these features. Usually other manufacturers offer useless additional cameras just to make it look like they have more cameras, but here at least Samsung does put an ultra-wide camera in these additional cameras. This device integrates a considerably good stabilization, although for this point again you must consider its price since we cannot get so demanding, but within this segment I think it does offer a good stabilization to record video in motion. It also has an HD slow motion at 120 frames per second, which is not much but it is honest work. In this price range there are other manufacturers that do not offer slow motion, and although it does not have a depth camera, in portrait mode it does keep the foreground objects in focus, giving a very accurate result. This proves that it is not necessary to have so many useless cameras, so overall I like the device on a photographic level. In fact, even in video recording it performs quite well. Normally in the mid-range we see a much more unstable video, the focus can be getting lost, there can also be jumps in the lighting, but Samsung has done a good job. And obviously in software we will find too many options. We can highlight the edge panels, also the fact that you can open any application in a floating window mode, even its photo editor and a lot of other things. It also has a one-handed mode that does shrink horizontally as well. I like to point this out because devices that integrate a more pure Android-like version only shrink vertically, and it's still quite awkward, but here it's fine. It also includes good security options like the secure folder, Samsung kits, and many other tools that are going to help you have a much more secure and private experience. And it did very well in my battery test. It reached almost 5 hours in my close-up drain test when other devices are closer to reaching 4 hours than 5, so it really lasted well. It also has NFC. If you don't know what NFC is for, it would be useful for setting up your card and making mobile payments, or also linking to some other devices by bringing the back of the cell phone close. It has a tremendously large ecosystem. Remember that Samsung is one of the manufacturers that has the best ecosystem, not only for a good number of devices but also for a good interaction between them. The MediaTek Dimensity 6100 Plus processor it integrates is considerably good. In my video export test, it did well, so we could say that it is a fast device if you only have one application open. As it also has a bypass mode for gaming. This mode helps you send power from the power delivery charger directly to the processor without going through the battery to avoid overheating. In fact, related to gaming, it also offers you additional add-ons that you can install to enhance your gaming experience. And finally, it also supports a 1TB micro SD. But now let me tell you what I didn't like. This device has exaggeratedly thick bezels. This makes it look like it's a much older device from 3 years ago. The colors of the main camera could perhaps look a bit reddish. It's not something exaggeratedly serious. You would simply have to go adjust the color after taking the photos if you didn't like it very much. The charger is sold separately. This is definitely one of the most annoying things, although the good news is that it is compatible with the power delivery standard. So for fast charging, you don't exclusively need Samsung's charger, but you can also buy other power delivery chargers. And it has 4 GB of RAM, which on a Galaxy translates to very poor performance. Even though it has a good processor, the RAM works very much against it. So if you like to have multiple apps open, this device gets very slow after having 2 or 3 apps open, so definitely having 4 GB of RAM is going to limit your experience a lot. If you are one of those users who can handle having 1 or 2 apps open at the same time, it can give you a good experience, but if you are going to open more apps at the same time, it might feel very slow. And the heating when playing games can be a bit high. Again, although I think the processor gives an adequate performance for the range in games, you might feel a little more discomfort due to the heating, although it is not something extremely serious. If you already bought it, let me know your experience in the comments. For now, that's all for this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, you know you can let me know, and we'll see you next time.